Let's talk November TBR 2023. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is, let's call it an MBR, the November MBR. And the reason I say that is because I feel like I'm not reading at the moment, and I am because I'm still putting books down, like I'm getting them down, but I'm not finishing them as fast as I normally would. My brain, I'm a little bit scatterbrained and I'm picking up a lot of things. And because I'm picking up a lot of things, they're taking a lot longer to actually finish. But I am still reading. So we're going to do an MBR of sorts. I'm also feeling super resistant to the TBR this month. I'm not sure why, even though because I am a planned reader, I will still pick the books off the list I've created for myself. So why not just share the list, which is what we're going to do today. Before we jump into the TBR, make sure you check in the description box down below for links to my social media and Discord should you want to come along for the ride. Also, this little stain here, I don't know if you can see it. This is now permanent. I have no idea what I dropped on this shirt, but I've washed it like 3 times and it just lives here now. This is an at-home shirt and apparently on the internet for the world to see shirt. And that is the world that we currently live in. But anyway, let's jump into the books that I am reading this month. On the definite list, because I'm already 30% of the way through, is Ruin by John Gwynne. This is the buddy read I'm doing with Roger over at Rogers Reads, where we are going through The Faithful and The Fallen, and we are up to book 3 this month. Now, I have gotten a little bit of a head start because it is an 18-hour audiobook, and I have another, I think it's about 15 to 16-hour audiobook that I want to get through this month, which I'll talk about next. And I listen slowly, so I need the time to be able to do two. I quite enjoyed Malice and I quite enjoyed Valor. The series hasn't shot up to like favorite of all time, but they have been 4-star reads for me. Ruin so far at the 30% mark is having bigger conversations, it's doing bigger things, but I'm still not like gripped and just screaming this book's praise from the rooftops just yet. But what I will say is it's very, very enjoyable and I'm having a good time and I am enjoying the audio route on that one. This may be my favorite narrator that I've discovered of 2023. So, spoiler alert for if I do a best of 2023. So I'll definitely be doing Ruin with Roger and having a chat to him about it as he goes through. And even though Roger, I am at chapter 30 or whatever it is, I'm pretty sure you'll still beat me when it comes to reading it because he listens at the speed of sound itself. The next book that I'm going to be picking up on audio is a buddy read I'm doing with Kris from Christopher Navo's channel, and that is The Wolf of the Plains by Con Eagledon. This is book number 1 in the Conqueror series, which I believe is all about Genghis Khan. I have mentioned before that anything to do with history, I really like historical fiction, but any of the actual history aspects will just go in one ear and out the other, and I will not remember it at all, which is why historical fiction works for me so well. And if someone talks to me about it, I can be like, oh, I read a book about that, but it was highly fictionalized. So this is the story of Genghis Khan, and it is a tale that I'm very, very interested in. I know very little about it outside of that, and I learnt about Genghis Khan many moons ago, and I can't remember a damn thing. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely feeling the need to do some genre changing up. So having a historical fiction series in here is hopefully just what the doctor ordered. And I'm looking forward to giving that a go and having that be a little bit of a change. I do have a couple of crossovers from last month if I can get to them. The first being Spark of the Divine, which will be the second thing that I pick up in the month of November to make sure I've read that before it debuts on the 24th of November of 2023. I want to say is the release date. If I'm wrong, I will put it down below. So I did not get to that one last month in October, so I will hopefully be doing that one pretty much straight away in November. The other one that I'm going to pick up that I didn't get to in October is The Starved God. The next thing, or the first thing I would like to complete in the month of November is Partial Function. This is by J.C.M. Byrne, and I am about 10% of the way through this one, and it is already shaping up to be one wild ride. This has been wild so far. This is If Taken starred Michelle Yeoh and was set on Jurassic Park. Monster hunter Akina Azure inherited the world the most powerful weapon in the martial world before retiring to a peaceful life raising her twin girls. The Reaver has them kidnapped, thinking Akina will trade that weapon for their safe return. Will she, or will she use it to wreak a terrible retribution on the man who took her girls? You get one guess. Like I said, I've read about 10% of this one. It's already wild. This is like Mama Bear mode is coming to get her kids, and I'm all for it. It is so accessible to read, so fast paced, and a lot of fun so far, and just badass. Like this mum Akina is such a badass, and I'm having a good time with it. The next one I'll talk about is the Tome of Haren. This is something new on the list by Damien Francis, and I believe this one was given to Epic Indie quite a while ago, and it has been on my radar for a while, so I'm going to be picking this one up for a review copy this month. It says, the nation of Nareen is vulnerable. There hasn't been a keeper to protect and defend its people for over 150 years. As rumors of war grow, Nareen needs a keeper more than ever. Orphaned since birth, Ador has no expectations of life except surviving day to day. So when a legend from old stories claims that he is to be the next keeper, the powerful champions entrusted with defending Nareen, Ador must journey farther than he ever imagined in search of an artifact long thought lost, the Tome of Haren. Now Ador must contend with elite mercenaries called Blooders hired to retrieve the tome for the mysterious Dark Master. As the challenges mount and time draws nearer to the war to come, Ador questions whether he can live up to the legacy of the Keepers and save the nation of Nareen. It says a modern classic for lovers of awesome fantasy fiction and great characters amongst glorious backdrops of worlds within our minds. Sounds pretty cool. This one has been on my radar for a little while now, so I'm excited to get to it, hopefully this month. The next one I have is another arc which has been very kindly sent to me, and this is The Binding Power by Cassidy Faylene. So it's going to be a bit glary there in the light there. This cover is gorgeous, and the light is not going to do it justice there, but there is so much detail in this hallway down the bottom, and it's just stunning. So this one turned up on my doorstep, my friend's doorstep last week, and it shot up to the top of what I want to read. So sorry other books, I'm just like shafted to get to this one, but an author has taken the time out of their day and their money to send me a book. So, and one that looks as gorgeous as this. I really enjoyed The Awakening Fire earlier this year. And, you know, it was a YA. And normally I don't go into YA expecting to enjoy it as much, but I really did. So book number one is this one here, and I had a great time with it. So very much looking forward to book two. Something else that I want to pick up to continue on with my SPSFC journey is Eclipse by Herman Struenagel, and this cover is so gorgeous. The colors just pop off this one. I didn't read the blurb for The Binding Power because it is a book two, but Eclipse says, Django Alexander had everything he ever wanted. Now he's lost it all. When Django uncovered an unexpected truth, he didn't know it would end the lives of nearly everyone he cares about. Left only with his sister, his best friend, and an uncle who has some unhinged ideas about what might exist outside of space station Eclipse, he must follow the truth where it leads, even if it leaves him with nothing. Mika Jenks can't escape her dubious past, and it could end up costing her everything. Mika thought she had left her life as a notorious space pirate behind to care for her ailing mother, but the past comes knocking after her ship, the Redemption, answers a cryptic distress call. Forced to face a deal she made with the devil years ago, Mika has no choice but to step back into her old life and to make another hesitant pact with an eccentric pirate. Django and Mika's paths collide as they embark on a journey that will shape the fate of a civilization built on half-truths and the backs of others. Rumors of civil war circulate through the Syndicate's orbital empire, catching both Django and Mika in the crossfire, where the stakes are far higher than they realized. Neither is prepared, neither is willing, but they will no longer be able to ignore the truth. But will it cost Django and Mika everything? Mika? It sounds fantastic, and I can't wait to pick that one up. I definitely am very interested in this series as a whole, and this copy of the book is going out for the community library, so thank you, Herman, for donating those, and I can't wait to buy my own set next year. Now, I will say there is still a spot on the TBR for another SPSFC book that comes my way if there's one from our group that hasn't been read yet, or we start going into other people's favorites from the pile that they've read and start to put together our semi-finalists and whatnot. So there is a spot for that. I just don't know what it's going to be at this point. And the other one that is a maybe to start, I do want to read this between November and December, so I'll very likely start it towards the end of November and finish it up in December, is Midnight Tides by Stephen Erickson, which is book 5 of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Now, the reason I'm going to split this one over 2 months is I'm not feeling that Malazan call. I've really enjoyed my time with the first 4 books. At the same time, there is a lot to remember and a lot to keep up with, so I don't want to wait too long before starting the next installment. And I have heard book 5 is a bit of a slog, so I might give myself a little bit of breathing room there and read book 5 over November and December, maybe using some of these others to sort of break it up a little bit, because I do want to finish this series in 2024 and go back to Wheel of Time. So that is a spoiler alert, I guess, for series that I want to continue in the new year. So those are the books that I have on my radar, maybe depending on what my brain does in November of 2023. What are you picking up? Are you excited for me to get to any of these? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the content, give it one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.